Good. Hello, everyone. This is 5th grade, chapter 5.5, multiplying decimals. Please copy this down for your notes right here, this in red. Please make sure you write down 5.5 and multiply decimals and whole numbers. And then when you're done with that, I'd like you to write down this learning target, multiplying decimals and whole numbers. By the end of this lesson, you will be able to multiply decimals, okay? Please press pause and write this down and then let the video move on. So there are some rules when we multiply by decimals. Please make sure you copy all of this down. I will be collecting your notes to see this. So we have the number 10 times 0.4, or sorry, 10 times 4. How would we multiply 10 times 4? Just like regular, we're going to do 4 times 0 is 4, and then 4 times 1 would be 4. So the answer, sorry, 4 times, I apologize. 4 times 0 is 0, right? And then 4 times 1 is 4. So the answer for this problem, and then there's your decimal, right? It goes right down there. It is 40. Okay. Now, what happens if, let's say, we wanted to add a decimal? Let's say we had the number 10 times 0.4. Okay. This is how we're going to learn how to do long multiplication. Okay. We don't like to multiply with decimals, so we want to remove our decimals. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move my decimal on this side right here. I'm going to make my new decimal up. Actually, I'm going to draw it in a square, just so you know. So my new decimal, I'm just going to draw in the shape of a square. And over here on the side, I'm going to write the word 1D, and that stands for 1 decimal, okay? So I moved it 1 time, 1 decimal. So now let's multiply, pretend like this decimal is not here anymore. Let's multiply. 4 times 0 is 0, and then 4 times 1 would be 4. But because I moved 1 decimal, bring it down like this, I have to move it back, right? If I moved 1 decimal, I have to move it back. So I'm going to move it back. So my new number is actually just 4.0, or another way to write 4.0 is just 4, okay? We're going to do a few of these problems. We're going to practice them, and I think by the end of it, it's going to make a lot of sense, okay? So here we go. Let's try to jump in right away. Let's see if we can do that. Right, remember we said we don't like to multiply with decimals, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove them. I'm going to move it over here and put it in a shape of a square. I'm going to move this one too. Move it over here in the shape of a square. Now, how many decimals did I move on this side? I moved 1D, and over here I moved 1D. In total, how many decimals did I move altogether? So 2 decimals in total, all right? That means how many places I have to move back. So let's pretend like these aren't here anymore, and let's just multiply like normal. 4 times 2 is 8, and then 4 times 1 is 4. So I'm going to drop these decimals down right here. Now, how many decimals do I need to move back? I need to move it back twice. So move it once here, and then twice over here. So my new decimal goes right here, okay? I'm gonna rewrite it. So my new, or the answer to this problem is actually 0.48, and it looks like that, okay? All right, let's try another one. Let's try this one right here. Let's see. Press pause, write down the problem, see if you can solve it on your own, and then move forward, okay? Remember we said we don't like to multiply with decimals, so I'm gonna move it once over here, put it in the shape of a square so we know. I'm going to write 1D, right, because we moved it once. I'm going to move this one over here in the shape of a square. I'm going to say 1D because we moved it once. In total, how many decimals did I move altogether? 2 decimals. So that's how many I have to move back when I'm finished. All right, so now let's pretend these aren't here, and we're just going to multiply like normal. 6 times 3 is 18. Don't forget to carry the 1. 6 times 3 is 18. Don't forget to add the 1. That's 19. Put the 9, carry the 1. And then 6 times 1 is 6, plus 1 is 7. Don't forget to put your placeholder, and now let's multiply again. 4 times 3 is 12. So you put the 2. Don't forget to carry the 1, right? Plus 1. 4 times 3 is 12, plus 1 is 13. Don't forget to carry the 1. And then 4 times 1 is 4, plus 1 is 5. All right, now we're just going to add all of this together. 8 plus 0 is 8. 9 plus 2 is 11. Don't forget to carry the 1. Let's do 7 plus 3 first. That's 10 plus 1 is 11. Carry the 1. And then 1 plus 5 is 6. All right, we're not done yet. Right, remember we said we moved our decimal twice over here. So I'm going to drop this decimal all the way down here. And we got to move it back. How many times we got to move it back? We got to move it back twice. So once, twice. So your new number is going to be 61.18, like that. Okay? Let's try another one. Here we go. Write down the question, and then let's see if we can solve it. So remember, we don't like to multiply with decimals, so let's remove this decimal. I'm going to move it once over here, so that's 1D. Move this one over here, that's 1D. In total, how many did I move? I moved 2 decimals in total. So now let's just pretend those decimals are not here. 6 times 4 is 24. All right, good. So now I just got to drop this decimal down. Here it is. And how many decimals do I need to move back now? I have to move backwards, right? Because I went this way. Now I have to go backwards that way. So I have to move back twice. So we go once, twice. So your new number or your answer for this problem is going to be 0.24. Oops, looks like I'm running low on battery. Let's keep on working. Let's see if we can get through before my battery dies. All right, here's another one. Let's see if we can multiply. Remember, we don't like to multiply with decimals, so let's remove it. I'm going to do this one first. So that's 1D, right? And then over here, let's see how many I got. I got 1, 2, 3. So that's 3 decimals up here. So in total, how many decimals did I move all together? I moved 4D. All right, so that means at the end of it, I just have to go backwards 4 times. So now let's pretend these decimals are not here, and let's multiply like normal. 2 times 7 is 14. Don't forget to carry the 1. 2 times 8 is 16, plus 1 is 17. Don't forget to carry the 1. And then 2 times 9 is 18, plus 1 is 19. All right, looks like we're done there. I'm going to bring this decimal down right here. And now how many decimals do I need to go backwards now? 4 of them. So let's go back 4. We go 1, 2, 3, 4. So here's your decimal. All right, I'm just going to rewrite the number. So it's 0.1974. And that is your answer for this problem. All right, let's try another one. This time, this one involves zeros. And let's see how we can do this one. All right, so remember, we don't want to multiply with zeros. So sorry, with decimals. So let's move it once, twice. Here's my decimal. So I have 2D. Now I'm going to do this one over here. 1, 2, 3. So I have 3 decimals over here, 3D. Now, how many decimals did I move in total? I moved a total of 5 decimals, 5D. All right. Now, here's the trick part with this question when you're multiplying with zeros. If you're looking at this number, right, we're getting rid of that decimal, get rid of that decimal. When we write numbers, we don't write numbers with zeros in front of them, right? If I said I owe you $32, I wouldn't say I owe you 0.32. Or if I owe you 2 quarters, I wouldn't say I owe you 0.2 quarters, right? Another way to write this would be just like this. Rewrite it without the zeros this time. So we have 32 times 2, right? Because I want to get rid of that 0. It doesn't count. And then this 0, because there's no decimal there, this 0 doesn't count either. So we're not going to multiply by those. So I'm just going to rewrite my problem. And remember, how many decimals we have to go back? We have to go back 5D, 5 decimals. So now let's just multiply like normal, and let's see what happens. 2 times 2 is 4. Right, here's this is where our decimals were, correct, right? Our decimals were right there. I just rewrote the problem. And then 2 times 3 is 6. Let's bring down this decimal. Now, here's my question. How many decimals do I need to go back? I need to go back 5. So let's go 1, 2. All right, and I have to go back 5. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5. And what goes inside of my empty bunny hops is going to be zeros, like this. So your answer, I'm going to rewrite this problem again. Our answer is 0, 0, 0, 6, 4. This is why it's very important for you guys to use graph paper for today. Okay, let's do a few more problems and let's see if we can get them done. This is, let's rewrite this. That is a 6, and that is also a 6, okay? So here we go. Remember we said we don't like to multiply with decimals, so I'm gonna move this once, I'm gonna move this twice. So that is a total of 2D. That's how many I have to move back. Let's pretend this is not here. Let's just multiply it like normal. 6 times 6 is 36. Don't forget to carry the 3. 6 times 4 is 24, plus 3 is 25, 26, 27. Forget to carry the 2. And then 6 times 1 is 6, plus 2, 7, 8. That's 8, okay? Bring this decimal down over here. And now, how many decimals do I need to go back? I need to go back twice. So once, twice, and there we go. Our answer for this problem is 8.76. All right, let's try another one. Here we go. Remember we said we don't like to multiply by decimals, so let's get rid of this one. We got 1, 2. So here's my new decimal. I have 2D. And I'll just multiply like this, and that's not even here. 9 times 1 is 9. 9 times 6 is 54. Good. All right, now let's bring this decimal down. Here we go. How many times do I need to bring it back? Twice. So that's once. That's twice. So my new number is actually 5.49, like this, 5.49. Good job. Let's try another one. Let's check this one out right here. All right, here we go. Remember we said we don't like to multiply with decimals, right? So let's remove this one. That's once. That's twice. So I'm going to write 2D. All right, now we just pretend like that's not there and multiply like normal. 3 times 4 is 12. Carry the 1. That's plus 1. 3 times 1 is 3, plus 1 is 4. Good. Don't forget to put your placeholder. All right, now we do 8 times 4 is 32. Good, so that's 2. Don't forget to carry the 3. And then 8 times 1 is 8, plus 3 is 9, 10, 11. And we got 11. All right, now we just need to add all of these together. All right, we have 2. 4 plus 2 is 6. And then drop down the 11. Don't forget to bring down your decimal. Here it is. And now how many spaces do we need to go back? We need to go back twice. So we got once, twice. So your new number for this problem is actually 11.62, like this. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is how you multiply with decimals. Please make sure you show all of your work, and I will see everybody tomorrow. Have a great day.